the most joyous start, Marilyn, with the
No,
Manchester problem, and
terrible.
it's been coming for a long time. I know the area very well, my patch, and we recently did a recording actually about Heaton Park, about the way the illegal immigrants are making it impossible to anybody to enjoy that park, and they're waiting outside school gates to start their grooming. It's horrible and it's a decent area, but this is nothing to do with illegal immigrants. This
No.
guy was given a passport a long time ago, but I'm sorry, this prevent scheme, let's call it, don't work.
It's not working. It doesn't work because they're quite something is wrong with the criteria that lets these people through the net, or people are not thinking outside the box and extending their thoughts to think, well, if this escalated, what if? They don't seem to have in that prevent program a real like early warning type thing. You know what I mean? They don't put, I mean, it's like that guy with Southport. I mean, he would be referred to them. And yet, oh no, he's not a risk. Well, people wouldn't refer them if they didn't think they were a risk. So, what is it that there's something fundamentally wrong with it? And I know I've said this to you before, and I'm going to say it again. I just don't understand this anti-Semitic attitude. I mean, what have the Jews ever done to us? I don't get it. I truly don't understand the hate. And you'll love this one. I was listening to Five Live, just driving back just now, and they had a Jewish guy on and they had a rabbi on who was a really nice chap, because they are a gentle religion, aren't they? They're not, they're not, I just don't. Anyway, this chap who was literally just down the road from the synagogue. He's seen on the BBC comments this morning, on the BBC, the comments, kill all UK Jews.
Yeah.
Why would the BBC allow that? It shouldn't be on there. It,
Uh,
it,
no,
it should not be on their comments page. Who is monitoring that? It's absolutely disgraceful.
this
And
is what
what is our great
potentially.
leader going to do today? And what is our great leader going to say? Or even more, our Home Secretary, what's she going to say? Because it puts her in a bit of a problem,
Well,
doesn't it?
they cannot say much genuinely, to be honest, because they're part of it.
Yes.
And you cannot avoid saying that if you look to the left, you are in a uncharted territory. You
Mm.
may not think you are, but you are. We're going to talk about this a little more in detail, but there is a real problem that is being hidden. Now, the occurrence there is truly awful. The spin-off will ever be with those people of that area, and the families will be devastated. And it could well happen again in other parts of the country
I am
because
surprised, given it was Yom Kippur, where it would have been known that a lot of dedicated Jews would have been in the synagogue. I'm surprised it was only there. I mean, I have taught in a Jewish school training near Barnet, and it's a huge Jewish school there, and I could not believe how. I mean, trying to get in your car was like trying to get into a prison. You had these absolute solid iron sliding doors. Then you went in there, that one shut, and then the next one opened, and it was a car at a time doing that. Then there was security. I mean, what child wants to have to go through that when they go to school? I mean, this is going back about 10 years.
yeah, this is prison, of course.
Yeah. I mean, it was honestly, it just reminded me of driving into a prison, or when you go into a prison and you go into the lifts or go into wherever it is after you've been patted down and all of that.
Yeah,
It
shut
is,
shut
go
one
in, you
door before you open the next.
exactly right, exactly right. And that's what this is like. And they're solid iron and they're about 14 foot high. I mean, I mean, I just couldn't believe it. And I thought, goodness me, are they that much at risk? I mean, but why? I don't understand it.
Well, there's no straight answer, but there is one underlying answer. And one has to go back to that dusty old book, the Bible, thousands of years ago. It was written that there will always be enmity between
Yeah.
Arab, and Jew. And you could have looked at that and said, oh, well, no, it's got to get better. It hasn't. And to some extent, it won't. But it goes beyond that. The Jews are a special nation. They say that. The Bible says that. And a number of things that maybe people are not aware of. If you look at simple things like an IQ of a nation, they're top of the list.
Oh, yeah.
What they've invented, the number of awards they've got is way out of proportion to the actual number of Jews. So they're a clever lot. Therefore,
They are. They are.
you're going to get jealousy.
I was just going to say it has to be jealousy. It has to. I mean, it has to start with jealousy, and then that jealousy eats away like a cancer, and then it becomes hate. And I mean, I still. I'm not someone that goes down the route of hate anyway. I'm just all for sort of tolerance and being able to live together alongside each other. And apart from when you've got people that are coming in as immigrants, illegal, and really ripping it out of people here, that I can get very angry about. I don't hate them. Who can blame them? Because it's freebies when you get here. But I find the Jewish thing really, really upsetting. And as you say, you go back to him being given. He was a Syrian, wasn't he? He came over here, was given a passport. I mean, my friend's son has encountered terrorism, and I mean, he just goes quiet when it's like this because he's just so blooming busy. But I mean, it is frightening. I just think, I mean, but why? What I don't understand is how are they allowed that what was going on in London last night was horrendous. A friend of mine was actually in Whitehall and around that place at the time, and she said it's just all of a sudden kicking off, and I'm really frightened. And she was trying to find a way of getting out of there to get safely home. But you say, why are they allowing it? Well, they don't have enough police officers to stop it, do they? So the parade that's going booked to go on for tomorrow, about 1,000 people are expected to come. Well, that's going to be more than that now. And the police have politely asked, could you please refrain from doing this march tomorrow because we are stretched and we are being deployed to look after the communities where this is still very high on, high fear level. Yeah, but they'll go ahead with it. I mean, they haven't got the police.
That again has got to be put in the pot and stirred because these pro-Palestinian marches have been going on for donkeys weekends. They
Yeah.
carry on. It is absolutely unforgivable at this time to look at this and make the most of it. And if you look at
Yes.
the chants of yesterday evening of these brainless individuals that have been totally brainwashed.
Yes. Yes. And there was now was it on TV or on radio this morning? I think it might have been it might have been the radio this morning. I can't remember. But there was this lady or somebody going on about no, it was Robert Jenrick. That's right. I heard it in the distance. I was getting breakfast. I heard him in the distance going that we have to weed out all these attitudes in universities, in schools, where all these lefties and wokies are dripping their venom and their anger into young minds, and then it's festering. And he spoke brilliantly this morning, Robert Jenrick.
Yeah.
And yes, it was him that he was saying this. He was saying what you were saying, that it goes, you've got to look at these institutions where this is festering.
Including the BBC,
Oh,
aforementioned,
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
certain newspapers as well.
Yeah, yeah. And well, you see, it doesn't help, does it? Because people are stupid enough to believe everything that's written in the press, and they buy these what I would call rubbish gutter newspapers. I don't know what else to call it, and they believe what's written there. And they don't have the education or the intellect. And I'm sounding an awful snob here, but it's true. They don't have the education or the intellect or the mind to discuss it, or like I'm doing now, asking you. We're having a discussion about it. Can you learn from someone where you have a debate, And oh, I hadn't thought of that. Oh, yeah, you're probably right. I mean, yes, I mean, the Jews are known as a persecuted race, aren't they? And they are unbelievably brilliant. I mean, brilliant lawyers, brilliant to do with fabrics, design. They are incredibly clever.
Can I say, or can I mention that I have somewhat of a solution? I can't see it happening, but I will present it as a possibility regarding the marches. Now, it's highlighted who's behind the marches, looking at the attitudes, and it's the same renter mob, of course, that are anarchists, want
Yeah, well,
to
absolutely.
overthrow the government, and
Absolutely.
right ways of dealing with it because we believe in free speech, ha ha. So therefore, you've got every right to walk up and down the road, blocking all the traffic, causing hiatus for everybody in that area. Can't go to work, can't go to school,
Can't go to the
feeling
hospital.
unsafe. Right, number one, if you want to protest, fine. But can we give you a space in Hyde Park?
Yes,
You can
yes,
walk up and down there as much as you like.
yes.
Oh, well, that's restricting us. No, it's not. Not with social media. Film it, put it on the World Wide Web. That's the way you want to get your message out. Do it. It's available.
Yeah, well,
That
that's
will
what
solve a lot of the police problem.
that's exactly right. That's what I was thinking this morning, and I was thinking the same thing that if you contained them into a space instead of wandering around, the streets of London, and as you say, you can. I thought exactly the same thing as that would be the sensible type of solution because you still have the right to march, but then the numbers are ridiculous. I mean, now there was a wonderful police officer on GB News yesterday lunchtime. Oh my goodness, he was so eloquent. I can't remember his name, and I wish they would put the name up under someone that is. He was talking. He was not. He was like anonymous, if you like. Well, he couldn't put the name up, could they? I mean, he wasn't visible. But what he was saying, he said, he said, I've been in law enforcement for 40 years. I've been in the police for 37 years. I have never in all my time seen so much anarchy and anger in the UK as there is now. And it's true. And he was saying we need, 18,000 officers were got rid of in when it was 2009, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Who was it that got rid of them? Theresa May, wasn't it? Got rid of a load of officers. And he said, we need those numbers back. And then you've got Mark Rowley, rightly. I didn't see the programme on Panorama, but he's weeded out 1,500 corrupt officers from the Met. Well, those 1,500 need replacing. And he's also talking about much more robust vetting. Oh, yes, that absolutely is essential. But, if you've had to get rid of, and he's still getting rid of them, but that's just the Met. What about the Greater Manchester Police? What about the other constabularies?
It's everywhere. The Met is rather famous for it, of course.
Oh, yeah, but so's
Queenie time.
GMP. GMP is another one. I mean, they're two of the biggest ones. They must be, mustn't they?
Yes.
Greater Manchester, and that they must be two of the biggest ones. But but the trouble is, it just goes back to the same thing again, though, isn't it? You put a uniform on some people, and they go crazy, like in
They
the
abuse
army.
it. Yeah.
They abuse the uniform. They don't, they just think they're marching around as control freaks.
Yeah,
Um,
and there is a way of controlling this, of course. Yes, you can have your march on a weekend when you're going to be less disruptive up and down Whitehall or wherever. But that's it for another month or 3 months. If you want to march again, go to Hyde Park.
Well, I think so. I think so. And also because when you're marching around the streets of London like that, and you're just going into town because you fancy a day out in London, or you're going to take your children to a museum or some shopping or something like that, I would feel terrified. Because you only need, as you saw last night, one or two to kick off. And it inflames. I mean, you wouldn't want to go near it. And it is literally ruining going to London for other people who just want to go to London.
Well, we're supposed to have a pretty cute, firm Mahmood Home Secretary. She's come out, of course, with £2,000 to get the criminals back abroad.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's cheap at half the price, to be honest, but I can never see that happening. Not the way it's totally disorganized. Everything we hear from this government is totally disorganized.
Yeah, it is.
Instead of saying, no, we will get our frigates in the channel and turn you back
Absolutely.
from whence you came. That's the only thing. Ask Mr. Trump, he's done it. And it's been far more difficult with numbers involved on the Mexican border. And it can be done, but they are tinkering with it the whole time, hoping it'll go away. It won't go away, but that is part of Keir Starmer's plan, ECHR. Why? Because he wants to go back into Europe.
Absolutely. But also going away a bit from the migrants and the Jewish. I was on LBC Radio the other day about the grooming gangs and this guy, the lead of the pack, who went down for 35 years, a father of three, Mahmoud, whatever his name was, and his merry men. And you think, well, hang on. I mean, yeah, that went back to 2001 to 2009, and it's taken this time to come forward. And well done, the girls that actually came forward. But you don't hear anything about the inquiry that they were supposed to start. When was that passed through? When do we hear about that? Was it 2 months ago? Has it started yet? I don't think so.
No,
They're dragging their feet and they're hoping it'll just go away.
well, they're part of the blob, the elite.
Yeah, they are.
The
They are,
judicial
absolutely.
system is all part of it. And mentioning ECHR as before, it is the key to everything. But he doesn't want to get rid of it. He doesn't want to get rid of the status quo as exists now. And it
Yeah.
will never be any different while this particular party is in power, if they are still in power. Has anything changed from the Tory days? No. We've had soft socialism for decades,
Yeah.
and it's now
Yeah.
gone into hard socialism, so it's even worse. Don't think I'm anti-socialist. In one sense, I am, because I don't believe in it personally. I believe in free market, and they don't. But that's all right. It's my opinion. It's their opinion that socialism is the way. We're coming back to this shortly, so I'll stop there. But I shall tell you what, I'm going to switch things completely just for a short time, and go back to Madeleine McCann. It seems that she's wheeled out every now and again.
Yeah.
Tragic, tragic, tragic. And now we're told so far the investigation this week, we've been given the figures, has cost over £13 million. And it goes on. And as we said last week, the German police, who are far from stupid, know that our friend Christian is the guilty one.
Yeah.
And they've given permission for our plod to go in there and investigate. But again, is it part of kicking things into the long grass? Will it ever come to an end?
Well, yeah, then I don't believe they'll ever find her. I don't believe they'll ever find her. I think, most children, if they're not found within the first 2 or 3 days, they've met their bitter end. I'm sure it was him. I mean, there's too much, if you like, circumstantial evidence, if you want to say, but actually proof that he was hanging around and he was looking to burgle maybe, and then thought taking that child would be a good idea. I don't know, but it's a bit late now, isn't it? But what I don't understand is they've released him. I suppose his time was up, but that is a worry because he's homeless, and where they are, where they're warning elderly people and young parents, this man is out there because they are convinced he's going to do it again. And I'm sure he will, because being inside won't have changed him. It never does.
No, the police are particularly pointed in Germany, saying he will do it again.
He will do it again. So how could you contain that? I suppose if he had reached the end of his sentence, then that's a difficult thing to do, isn't it? Because he wasn't, I suppose, he wasn't up for parole, was he? I mean, this end of the sentence had come. And it's the same with one of the grooming gangs down in Shropshire. There's a guy there that went down. He's due to be released. Well, he's due to be released, so why isn't he then going to be deported?
Yeah.
Huh. That's the thing. Hey, you've done your time. Bye-bye. Off you go.
Yeah, and there are agreements to do this. It's the will again. Will of the people? No, it's the will of the government. Which leads us to the BBC that you have mentioned already, and I have this morning. but it's coming out of the £174.50p that you are required, otherwise you're a criminal, to pay for this horrible broadcasting company. It didn't used to be, it is now.
No, absolutely.
Well, there you go. 147 million of that money a year goes on super gold-plated pensions, way above what they get in any private sector. And it's the same with the civil servants that are working in our town halls throughout the country, in various boroughs and counties, as used to be, parishes. They are, well, what we're paying for. Half of the money goes into providing inflated pensions. Oh, it goes on the police, surely, tiny amount. It goes on the schools. Well, that's quite a lump. Yes, it should go on social services and older people.
Yes.
It doesn't. We'll take your house off you until you run out of money to pay for your parents, or that's told to the parents. Put them in a care home. It'll cost you a fortune. There we go. And it's the elites looking after their own once again.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and what when I read that, I thought, and they couldn't just say about the pension, they went, because you've worked so hard, and you and almost as a volunteer income. What? What? I mean, yesterday, when I spoke to you, I had tried to pay a £14 invoice through our council, yeah, and it was 20 minutes before I could get around bureaucracy. By the time I paid the bill, my phone bill must have been about £34. I mean, it was ridiculous. Faffing around, the system didn't work. How long can it take? You're in the department that's taking money for invoices. Oh, I've just got to get the computer ready. I've just got to set this up. I will go quiet for a minute. 5 minutes later.
Because they're working from home, for goodness sake.
Yeah, yeah.
There you are, if you want some figures published again this last 2 days. Everyone, on average, is working only a 4-day week in the civil service still, and some a 3-day week, and nothing's done about it. Jacob Rees-Mogg lit up about this nearly 2 years ago, and nothing's happened. They are all powerful. Monopoly. They treat us, and they do, as being stupid. Well, we're not.
But you think, do they have a conscience at all about, taking? Well, they don't, do they? Again, they're another breed. They don't breathe. They don't breathe our oxygen. I mean, they have no sort of. They have no conscience or moral compass. They think, I shouldn't. Oh, I have got to interject here. Something has just come through to my mind that should now be happening. Sorry, this is a completely different thing. The new Archbishop of Canterbury is about to be named. Should have been named by now, because when I heard, and it's going to be a lady.
Well, will it be a black lady or a lady in a wheelchair?
What, with one arm?
Yes.
I don't know, but when it must have been it must have been about 20 to 10 when I was listening to Five Live, and they said within half an hour this person will be named, and it's going to be a lady. Let me just see if I can find it. I just thought, good grief. Well, there's nothing. I know it's still Palestine here. I'm just going to see if I can find it. New Archbishop, but I thought, goodness me. But how long's that taken?
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with black wheelchair people. Let me
there isn't.
From the start. But
here we go.
They are
Here we go.
chosen because they're black, because they're in a wheelchair.
No, she's white. Where's she gone? Right, woman named historic first. Sarah Mullally. Dame Sarah Mullally.
Ah, there you go. There's the hint. There's the clue.
The 63-year-old. The 63-year-old Archbishop designate is married to Eamon Mullally, 2 children, originally from Woking. She was the UK's chief nursing officer.
You see, it fits in. She's from Woking.
Yeah, Woking. Oh, almost a year we've been without.
Yeah, well, come on, learn from the Catholics. They did in no.
Oh my goodness. Well, it just, oh, well, let's just see what she says. She's 63. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I, taking a year, 2 weeks for the Pope. But let's see what she's made of. I
Well,
mean,
sugar and spice. No, it's not, is it, for ladies? What is it? That's
I'm
all for
sending you
boys.
the article now. There you go. I'm sending you the article. There it goes. You've
Okay.
got that for digestion during the morning, which we
Breaking
call
news.
indigestion.
Yes. Oh
Sorry,
dear.
sorry to interject at that point, but I thought when I was driving home, I thought, oh, I must remember to tell Rodney. But I was so like wound up about the Manchester thing and and the pain and suffering of these Jewish people and the outrage that, because of the way going back to that, the way when you keep on hearing, it's like an algorithm, isn't it? When you keep on hearing this sort of chat, 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 Palestine, Gaza, da, 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 it's drip, drip, drip all day, all long. It does. If you are sort of somebody on the edge and whatever, I mean, it does impact your thinking.
It does. Let me give you some good news. Time for good news, folks. And it's Border Force. Well, we're going to tick boxes here. Well done, lads. Apparently, this last week, you've caught hold of £72 million worth of drugs in one seizure.
Yeah,
Well done.
I know.
And
Amazing.
it goes,
Absolutely amazing.
normally it's not put in the news. This one was. Apparently, they didn't like the look of these electrical engines, let's call them, big electrical motors. And that looks a bit odd, a bit fat. Found all the drugs. They'd taken the insides out and stuffed them full of drugs. Now, with most things that the Border Force and drug agencies get involved in, it takes months and years to build up enough evidence.
Yeah.
It's tough work, and they pulled it off. But who was the first to congratulate them? Steer Karma. Oh, sorry. Did I get that the wrong way around? Yes. No, I didn't. Steer
Oh, not
Karma was
not
the
not like
man
not
who,
oh not liability Lammy then.
not quite. And they've got, because they want to take credit for this, that was started years ago
Of
under
course it would have been.
horrible Tory rule. And there you coming along. Look what we're doing. You're doing nothing.
Oh, you see that? I mean, but I wonder if they were tipped off. There has to be intel, doesn't there, about
Oh,
it
yeah,
all?
yeah, yeah. But that's part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, how exciting for them though when they found it, and how gut-wrenching for the person that was bringing it in when they were stopped. Must have thought, oh no.
What a shame. Yeah, all right then. Okay, we move on. Transgender women are still being allowed in male prisons and female prisons in this particular case.
I thought this was all illegal. I thought the
Of
Supreme
course
Court
it is.
stopped all
Supreme
this.
Court have got hold of this and they're still there. Oh, but they're in a separate wing. We do let them out occasionally, but there's not really enough prison officers to
Well,
make
there you
sure
go.
that they
It's the
separate.
same. I mean, who would want to be a prison officer? Seriously, in today's world, who would want to be? Because I mean, it's an awful job anyway. But I mean, I do know someone who is one, and she absolutely loves it. But I just must get up in the morning and be like, you don't know whether you're going to be bumped off or stabbed, do you? I mean, the violence, I think, in the prisons, a lot of people are, I think, giving up. And there's a lot of police as well who are off on sick leave with stress and trauma. I'm not surprised. You are an ordinary person. This is beyond policing, having to wade in the middle of all these riots. I mean, I don't know why when when you've got these going back to these marches, I don't understand why they don't involve the army because they are stretched. Like this weekend, they are stretched because they're trying to look after certain communities where there are synagogues and all of that. And therefore, I don't know why they don't bring in the army.
Trump does it all the time,
Yeah, well,
and
why can't
previous
they?
presidents as well, but we don't. There are certain things that we can bring them in. and do more of that again shortly when we're desperate. Can I move on because already we're running out of time? Isn't it hopeless? Time goes. We've got to complain about time. An interesting event in Altrincham, where I was schooled. Now that's in South Manchester,
Nice up there.
North Manchester, posh.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice up there.
It is. And there you go. There is a particular gentleman that has got a banner, and it seems to be a very common banner these days. It says, Keir Starmer, you are a W. So what happens? The local plod gets hold of him and actually remain in your car, sir, while we try and sort this out. What for? Oh, well, we'd like you to stay there because that is hate speech, basically, is what they're saying.
Well, if it's hate speech, what is it that Liability Lammy said then?
Well, yes, exactly. But it's an interesting point, this. He was obviously a bit of a lad, the guy putting the banner out there. What do the police do? Well, they first of all use their intelligence, yeah, and decide and refer it to Chief Plod in the Nick, and that's why he was pinned in the car. What do we do with this? Which law has he broken? Now, in one sense, you go through to hate speech and say, come on, get a grip. Or you think, well, what if mother and child were walking with a pram with baby there, and a child that's walking beside the pram says, Mummy, Mummy, what does W mean? Now, Mummy tries to explain, but should she?
Difficult, isn't it?
It is. Should she have to? It is very difficult policing.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes. I mean, I've always said I'd love to have been a police officer, but I think, that is going back
No,
decades ago. But now,
we've got a family full of them. Don't. Yes.
it's extraordinary that, isn't it? Because other than your own children, were people in the family part of the police? It is extraordinary that you've got so many children that have gone into the police.
Yeah, and yeah, it's a good job. If it's done correctly, we believe our family do it correctly and think. And they okay, most of them have got as far as inspector. So they appreciate the problems more than others.
Yeah.
But a lot of things are coming out really about how they're trained at police college,
Yes. Well, that needs to change,
how,
doesn't it?
how
That
they're
does.
wokeized.
Yeah. That they do need to
They
change
don't
that.
say that to me, but it's plainly obvious what is going on there.
Yeah.
No, they're very loyal to their job, which is very good.
Oh, I think there's some brilliant officers out there and
Yeah.
let down by the ones that are not great,
You've got to rechristen the police in many areas, and it's not their fault. There's social service work
Oh, for sure.
because
Yeah,
they
oh, for
do
sure.
the dirty jobs of the social services.
Yeah, yeah. It's a frightening job. Such a dangerous job now. It really is. I mean, I just I have an enormous amount of respect for them, and for the good ones. But as I say, but it's like teaching, isn't it? You get a child abuser on the board of teachers or whatever, and it's let that school down. So everybody is let down. Everybody has people in the organisation, none more so than the BBC, that bring the business down or the organisation down. They're not given enough praise. It is like the NHS. They're not given enough praise for what they do, are they? It's always what they haven't done. And Mark Rowley, I thought he spoke well the other day. And he was saying, "Oh, we're not having these people. We are still rooting them out." And he was saying the recruitment has got to change, and the police colleges training has to change as well.
Yeah, individuals fine, but it's when they get into the collective. I'm sorry
Yeah,
to use
that's
that
right.
phrase again, blob, that it goes wrong. Well, yeah, I'm going to switch countries to the States, where lots of going on at the moment, lots that we can learn from as well. Kraft Heinz, about a decade ago, they decided we're biggies, and they are. Heinz has been going century and a bit, and Kraft, and they're responsible for a magnificent amount of the food we eat. And they decided, let's get together because we can become more efficient that way, make our shareholders richer. And they tried it, and it sounds logical, but things have gone pear-shaped and they've decided to split up again, go back to the original. And I can see this happening with a lot of things. Big is not always better. And I can see a boardroom meeting saying, well, we've got this sachet of tomato sauce. We want to do a promotion with whoever supermarket your favorite, Sainsbury's is, this, and we'll let them sell this off cheaper. Well, they couldn't. Half the board were on the side of Heinz, the other half were on the side of Kraft.
Oh,
They started losing money. And of course, woke comes into this, but I won't bore you with those details. And they decided we're going to go our separate ways. So when people combined, sometimes it's at the expense of everybody, in that they see an opportunity for making money by selling shares super high prices or super low prices, and it goes into the pockets of the greedy. That's the bad side of freedom, and if you like, the antidote for socialism. Both sides have not got it completely right. But there you are, lesson to be learned there. But nothing more than the lessons that we're going to have to learn, or will it actually happen regarding ID cards?
no, that again.
That one again, and it's not going to go away. Or do they really hope that it will go away?
I don't understand again why in this country you have a thing that if you can get over 100,000 signatures, it is discussed in the House. That petition has gone up to nearly 3 million now against having ID cards, and there's no mention of it being discussed in the House. He's going to go ahead and do it, and that's it. I mean, he's like his own man, isn't he? There's no democracy at
No,
all.
true.
No democracy. He's a control freak. And I can't, but I mean, that makes an absolute mockery of the system that the general public, I mean, over 3 million can't be heard, can't, I mean,
No.
and also though, if that's the case, what are their constituents MPs doing? There must be people in the constituents that are saying to their MP, we don't want this.
They
And
are
it's being raised.
they are preserving their own jobs. That's what they're.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And the other thing that I think, as we're doing politics now, the other thing I think is outrageous is that how they've cut back the security for Nigel Farage.
Yeah, the whole thing is out of balance. As an
Exactly.
illustration, Alistair Heath writes a brilliant column in the Telegraph at weekends, and he's got, he thinks, a solution for our problems, and it's a 4-point demonstration of where we're going wrong and what should be put right now under any government. Number one, slash welfare. Well, right.
Yeah.
We can understand that, and we can agree with it indeed, because it's got madly out of hand, which is why we're getting all the immigrants in, legal and only. Where do you want to go? Oh, we'll go to Britain. We get more on the state there. Okay, number one, slash welfare. Number two, immigration. It's costing us a fortune. It's in the billions a year. You're never going to get that production. Oh, we need that person in the NHS. Oh, we need that person for deliveries. Who's going to do the job? Well, as we keep saying on this program, the couch potatoes amongst our younger people.
Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it?
Do the job.
That's when they say cut welfare. Yeah, like who? Because there are people that are absolutely genuine and need it.
Yep. And they're suffering more than anybody.
Yes, absolutely.
Thirdly, encourage private savings for retirement. Now, it's mooted that Rachel from accounts is going to really have a go at retirement to fill this mythical black hole. Mythical because nobody understands, and I'm not surprised how big it is or how small it
But
is.
they're adding to it.
Yes, all the time. So encourage people to look after themselves. Don't expect the state, in other words, to look after you all the time. And fourthly, oh dear, more trouble for us here. Kill the NHS. It doesn't work. And it's true. Follow the Switzerland system, which is a beautiful combination of the private with an underpinning by the state, so that the private doesn't get out of hand.
That's what they do that's what they do in The Hague as well.
Yes, there's
And,
other countries.
so if you really have got no money, but you can decide, because my friend who works for Europol, they're over there, they come back next year, but they were saying it's really very good because you can decide if you're going to go like private, or I mean they've got enough money, they don't need to use the country's sort of support thing, but you can decide how much of the private thing you want. Do you just want to have appointments? Do you want appointments and the private also pay for your medication? Or, do you want all of it, or do you just want the medication? So you can decide what band you want and
Exactly.
you want to contribute to. And I don't see why that's the problem, because you'd still have your hospitals, you'd still have those. But if you want these public services that have been allowed to sort of like for 20 years really to going down and down and down, no investment made in them. If you want them to get back up and running properly, then people are going to have to pay more to tax.
Yes, indeed. Right, and now going deep before we come to an end of the program, but I think it's important. Oh, somebody's just given me a note, actually, and something I'd forgot about. Just this is thought for the day. It's sorry I can't show it, but you don't need to be shown really. It says it's a picture of the aforementioned Keir Starmer looking very grave straight out of the poster. And on the strap line at the top says, "Free speech has not been banned in the United Kingdom." And the bottom strap line, "And we will arrest anyone who says it has."
Oh yes, I saw that one the other day actually.
Sums it up, doesn't it?
I do. I mean, these people are so clever that come up. I mean, there will be by lunchtime, there'll be some like panel of something or other about the new Archbishop of Canterbury. I mean, these people work so fast, don't they, at coming up with stuff. Yes, I saw that one. I mean, but it is so true.
It's so true. Right. Another quote of the week. If socialist, Gen Z, socialists, although it applies to everyone really, if socialists understood socialism, they wouldn't be socialists. Now, it's easier to brainwash our younger people, Gen Z, if you like, than anybody else. And we quoted the many times, of course, "Give me a child under the age of 7
Yeah,
for life."
yeah.
So you have a go at the schools and the universities, and we finish up in the quandary we are. That's where the votes for socialism go. And there are important things to be said to understand something which is very simple, but not taught to our kids. Nothing wrong with explaining socialism or conservatism, let's call it. But the difference is very simple. One is, if you wish, freedom to do your own thing, and that refers to companies, of course. The other is control by the state, i.e. socialism, because that's better for everybody, even to redistributing wealth. Now, you need wealth to redistribute it. So one thing is playing against another, if you think. Now, the state can come along and say, well, on behalf of the public, we know best. We will control various policies. But unfortunately, the control comes from the political elite. And they are part of, yes, the blob. In practice, it means the following. Now, just answer this, if I can ask, in your own mind. What we have in existence at the moment, not just in UK, but in spades in the UK, we have socialised healthcare. Question, does it work? When we're queuing in A&E, when the cost is so high, when we can't get an ambulance, when our cancer rates are way at the bottom of anywhere in the West, ask yourself, this is a socialist practice. Does it work? All right, no. Number two, public or housing. Does it work? Council housing and many other types that are very similar at the moment. And well, in one sense, it doesn't work because there was a very revealing interview the last week with Steve Reed, who's taken over the lovely Angela's job in making sure these 1.2 million houses in the next 3.5 years are built. And he was asked a simple question by Camilla Tominey, and boy, does she go at it. Well, and she said, how many houses have you built? And he did the usual political thing, answered every other question.
Yeah.
You don't know, do you? And well, I know, she said. Oh, well, you've got a research department, he said. It was a train crash of an interview. It was awful.
I know.
Haven't you got anybody then? Anyway, she said, I'll tell you how much you had built. 113,000. Now, that'll take you 13 years at this rate, at least. I mean, it's a disaster.
Well, at the start, Kemi Badenoch did say, didn't she? She said, good luck, because we know in the Tory party how hard it is. Good luck with that number. If you want any help, this is when they first came into power. If you want any help, just step across just step across the House of Commons, and we can come and tell you all the pitfalls.
Well, there you go. Public housing, does it work like the NHS? No, this is socialism. State-owned utilities, are they working? Well, no and yes. Now, actually, I agree with that answer, because a lot of utilities, let's say water, miserably failed.
Oh, dreadful. Absolutely.
And that's what happens, the socialists say, when you get private companies coming in. Hang on, because you've got Ofwat or water or whatever they call themselves. You have got a government agency looking over the way that you are functioning, water companies. Frankly, that is the state. And they don't look after it. They let them get away with it. And any employer can get away with it legally, sometimes illegally, gets away with it. You should have stepped on that. Again, it's the civil service letting us all down. They should have jumped on the fact that you've not even repaired any pipes.
Terrible.
Repaired.
And how many reservoirs have they built?
Exactly. And you're getting away with murder, putting that filth in our rivers and seas.
Disgusting. It's
and
disgusting.
They let them get away with it.
Yeah, I know, it's absolutely shocking. I mean, it's absolutely shocking, and it should come under state control. I think absolutely it should. Really,
But
I do.
It's got to be policed by proper state control.
It has to be. It has to be. I mean, I wouldn't now go in the sea. I absolutely wouldn't go in the sea or wild water swimming. I won't even let the dog. I mean, she's a Labrador. She absolutely loves swimming. I won't let her go into any of the rivers or anything, because I'm so worried that she's going to get some infection.
Oh yes. Okay. Welfare and unemployment benefits run by the state. I don't think there's any bigger disaster than that. The needy don't get their needs met, and the feckless get away with it. So again, it's failed. And something very simple. Progressive taxation. The rich should pay more tax than the poor, and the wealth distributed. Well, that's socialism. That's okay. It's a choice if you want it. I don't want it. I want wealth producers in my country,
Yes.
staying in this country, not going
Yeah.
abroad,
Well, that's the point, isn't it? If you
because they'll
tax,
give you more jobs.
if you, yeah, and if you tax them too much, they're going to go overseas. And
Of
I
course
mean,
they are.
if they've got those people with lots of money, we'll go shopping in Harrods and places like that. We'll go to nice hotels. We'll go to nice pubs and restaurants. They will do that. And you can't if you've been absolutely being you got your back to the wall where your finances are concerned. You can't put any money back in the pot to unless it's a stupid thing about saying about putting money away to save up for when you're older. You're stretched to be able to make ends meet every week.
Yeah. Now, okay, you've got a choice, but it would be nice if in our schools the other side of the story that we have now given reached the ears and hearts of our tender ones, our little ones, so that they can make their own mind up instead of brainwashing lefties that just get their way and we finish up ultimately back to what happened over this dreadful weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
Either lefties get all their own way and it finishes up with hate and
No, that's what I mean. But as I say, Robert Jenrick was really excuse me, really on form this morning. I just find him really good. I like him, and I think he should be leader of the Tory party, quite honestly. I mean, I think he's the man to take them to the election. I
yeah,
don't not like Kelly Badenoch.
I must confess, not as a Tory any longer, but I must confess that when Badenoch got it, I and said, "Oh no, we're not coming out of the ECHR." She's changed her mind, by the way. I groaned and said, "Wrong person, forget it." And I'm afraid it's been proved right.
Yeah, yeah. I don't dislike her, but I do. I mean, there's a long way to go yet, so she could easily be replaced. Like a year before the next election, say. See, I don't see either why we can't have halfway through your term of office, so 2.5 years in, why there can't be a public vote that says, so how are we doing? And if we're not doing very well and abysmally well, as this lot are, then you can then have an election.
Well, they've got
Half
similar
term.
to that in the States,
I
although
was
it's
going to
not
say that's
quite
what they do in America, isn't it? The half
the
term,
midterm. Yeah, that.
midterm. I think that should happen. You've had 2.5 years. I mean, have you done anything that's of benefit, or is it worse, or are some things better, are some things a lot worse? And I think there should be because of 5 years in the way the world turns now, at the speed in which it operates, 5 years is a lot. It's a long time.
Tis indeed. I'm busy looking because we've got to go for something and failing miserably to cheer everybody up. But I've got one item here actually that again I'll get you a bit mad, but again it's up to you and me to do something. I've had a real rant this week with a bank. Spanish banks are something else. You think it's bad in UK. No, it ain't compared with the Spanish system. And yeah, I'll name names. Santander.
Oh, I bank with them.
Well, look, Santander in Portugal, where we bank, are brilliant. They're not bad in UK, I've got to say either. But in Spain, they're truly awful, like the other big four. And I come across it every day when dealing with the biggies that have the power. In this particular case, the app didn't work. Now, you're blessed in the United Kingdom, believe you me, with apps that do work generally and with websites. Here, it is not the Spanish strength. They're very good on sunshine and fiestas, but they're lousy on,
Sangria.
yes,
Manana, manana.
yes, Pasada Mañana, the day after. So there you go. So I want to do something very simple. So I rang them up. I said, my app is not working. I've got about 20 emails for various reasons. I said, you better change that email because it doesn't recognize me. And, oh, we can't do that. Well, we can, but you'll have to spend half a day going through these things to overcome our system of security. I said, I've not got the time. I'm not going to do that. Oh, well, our system is good. They brainwash the employees like so many big companies do. They think they're right. I said, look, uh, I can tell you what's wrong. Oh, no, you can't. The system's. I said, no, I'll get one of my techies to come in and sort it out if you want to pay him. I said, it's very easy. The email concerned was at the end, the suffix .tv. Now, a lot of companies do this. We've got various emails. .com is the easy one, or .co.uk. We can buy posh ones now, .tv, because we are a television company and it serves two purposes. Or Air Television International, which we are, is .international. But if you get a tunnel vision techie that says you've got to have a .com, they don't say this, but that's what they mean. I said, that's the reason to this chappie why it's not working. It never will work. Change it to another email. Oh, but that'll take another half day to. You're wrong. Change your system, banks. Don't be brainwashed by your chief exec.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not working for the customer,
Yes.
then
No, it's not.
whatever happened to the customer's always right.
You're a minion, and unless you fight back and give him grief, not that he,
That's right.
not he couldn't care less, to be honest. And I don't think he understood, bless him. But there you go. Do fight back over things like this.
I have
You're
to.
not. You're made to feel, you people, that you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're in the right.
Oh, yeah, I've got
Have a go.
I've got a ding dong about to happen with the council. Believe me, I'm not just not about the length of time I took to have to get this bill paid, but something else where their accounting system has. I mean, who in their right mind sends letters to somebody who's got dementia and probably put the letters in the bin? They're telling me they wrote these letters. I'm saying, well, I've never seen them. And I said, why did you address them to him? Because he probably thought, this has got nothing to do with me, and put them in the bin.
And this is our new app, especially for dementia patients. What is that about?
Unbelievable. I mean, and loads of people don't have, they're not IT savvy. I know loads of people that don't have an iPhone that can't, it's just ridiculous. There's so much assumption about how people live.
Well, they know best.
Of
No,
course.
they don't. We know best.
Of
We
course.
live in a democracy. What's a democracy? Oh, we'll do another lesson next week about, we know what socialism is now.
Oh dear,
It's your choice. If you want it, fine.
Oh.
If you don't, well, there you go.
Well, happy days. And yeah, well, we're looking forward to Storm Amy arriving.
Yes, I've seen that on the Met chart for UK.
Yes. My daughter is struggling in Bermuda at the moment with 2 hurricanes.
Oh,
So they've all been locked down for 3 days. No one's allowed out. So everyone's battened down.
well, they promised us here a hurricane. Of course, it's not this side of the Atlantic. Last weekend, and we thought, oh God, I'd like to see a cloud in the sky, please. I'm sick of this blue. And it passed over as we didn't get anything. I must say that Valencia around the corner, well, 600 miles around the corner, they got it. But we need it desperately.
Yeah.
Mid-20s and sunshine morning till night. So we're getting a bit fed up.
I heard something yesterday on the radio that Singapore was sending out heat warnings to people that, to stay indoors, blah, 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 because it had got to 31 degrees. I've been to Singapore. I mean, we get 31 degrees, 34 degrees in the summer, but 31 degrees. I mean, I've been to Singapore. I think it's a hateful place with the temperature and oh my God, the humidity.
Well, it's the humidity that does
It's the humidity is it's unbearable.
Well,
unbearable.
I put my woolly on when I get down to 31 degrees.
Stop bragging.
Not note of reassurance.
There's 15 degrees here today, so.
Well, it's nice, listen. It gets you working and animated.
Yeah,
no point being comatose.
No, I'm a winter baby. I'm a winter baby. I'm a December baby, so I think that's probably I like the jumpers and the woolly scarves and things like that.
You weren't a Sunday's child, were you?
I was.
Well, you weren't. Well, that proves a point about
Sunday's child full of grace. I was born during evensong.
Well, there you go. I can't top
Not
that.
in the church, I understand.
Yes, yes, I can't top that. We're going. See you next week.
Bye bye. Have a good weekend.